What is your relationship with Miss Vega, Mr. Fox?
Me and Miss Vega have been swimming with each other since we were 5 years old.
Where were you on the night of the accident?
I was celebrating.
When was the last time you saw Mrs. Vega that night?
I saw her standing outside of the black Bueller of his father's car with Tony.
Where was Tony standing?
Tony was standing right in front of the driver's seat.
Have you ever driven with Tony DeLuca?
Yes, I have.
What was it like driving with Tony?
It was not a very pleasant experience. Tony clearly did not know how to drive. He kept running stop signs. He almost got killed.
Do you know Cameron Douglas?
I do.
Has Cameron Douglas ever mentioned Adrian's mother?
Yes, he's definitely not too fond of her.
Objection on relevance.
Why is relevant? Mr. Douglas has made a statement that shows his bias towards Adrian.
And you're using Aubrey Fox to bring that out?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes, sir.
Karen has actually stated that she would do almost anything to get the mayor out of office.
Objection on hearsay.
Response to the hearsay?
It can be stricken.
Stricken. Very well.
That will be all, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, may I begin?
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Fox.
Morning.
On the night of April 19th, you were celebrating with the swim team, is that correct?
Correct.
And during this time, there were people everywhere.
There was.
In fact, it was all very chaotic.
I'd say so.
And you saw them Adrian Vega and Miss Luca, correct?
Yes.
And you saw them standing by the defendant's car.
Yes.
Was Tony DeLuca wearing a white t-shirt?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Did you make a witness statement, Mr. Fox?
Yes, I did.
Now, on page 36, line 18, didn't you say, I noticed Tony was wearing a light blue shirt. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, moving on. You saw Mr. Lucas standing by the driver's side door, correct?
I did.
Was the driver's side door closed?
Yes, it was.
Now, you never saw Ms. DeLuca get into the car, did you?
No.
In fact, you were distracted by a friend, weren't you?
Yes.
And by the time you looked up, the defendant and Ms. DeLuca were gone. Is that right?
That is correct.
You never saw Tony enter the car, yes or no, please?
I didn't.
In fact, you never saw who drove the car on that night, did you, Mr. Fox?
No.
So as you sit here today, you can't really testify to who drove the Bueller on the night of April 19th, can you?
No.
Thank you. Your Honor, no further questions.
Thank you. Any redirect?
No, may I witness the excuse?
Yes.
Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you are about to give will faithfully and truthfully conform to the facts and the rules of the mock trial competition?
I do.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Brewer.
Good morning.
How do you know Mr. Vega?
I'm a swim coach. I have been for the last 4 years.
How far do you think Adrian could go in his swimming career?
Well, I think he could go to the Olympics in 2016. That's what I'm training him for right now. But also, the University of Los Angeles is also looking up.
What kind of kid is Mr. Vega?
Very responsible.
Do you have any examples of this?
Actually, when I drove him to one of his meets, her to one of her meets, I took out my phone and she immediately said, "Do not text and drive."
Objection, Your Honor. You're said. Control. All right, just stand, sir.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. That will be on, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I begin?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Berard, you testified to knowing Miss Vega for about 5 years now, right?
Yes.
And you also testified to training her for the Olympics, right?
Yes.
This must be a pretty big obligation, is it not?
Yes.
It involves a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of time, right? Now, it must have taken that much time and all of that, and as I stated before, if Miss Vega was to be convicted, this could go on a permanent record, right?
Yes.
And this can also endanger her chances at going to the Olympics, right?
Possibly.
And this is exactly what you do not want to happen, right?
Yes.
You don't want your work to be wasted, don't you? You don't want your 5 years of hard work to be wasted.
Objection. You can't possibly know the witness's state of mind.
No personal knowledge.
Exactly.
Response?
Was that directed towards me?
Yes.
Your Honor, this is cross-examination. And it was also, it's reasonably inferred from the witness's testimony because the witness stated that he wanted Miss Vega to go to the Olympics. And as I have already established, That is an obligation that requires a lot of work and effort, and we don't want that work and effort to be wasted.
Your Honor, if I may, the witness is not looking for admittance to the university. It's Adrian Vega who has things to lose.
I'll just say it.
Now, you also said that Adrian Vega has the chance to go to ULA, right?
Yes,
And this can also bolster her chances at going to the Olympics, right?
very good chance.
Once again, if she was convicted, these things would be endangered, right?
Yes.
And once again, you do not want that to happen, right?
No.
In the end, you do not want Ms. Vega to be convicted, do you?
No.
Thank you. Your Honor, no further questions.
Redirect?
No, ma'am, witness excused.
Yes.